Good afternoon. Welcome into the WTUD studios. Russ Snyder in-house. 12:02 here on a Tuesday afternoon. That means it's time for the Coach Joey Simcoe show. We'll get Coach in here with one of the student athletes right away. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. This is our second one now here as we got it started. And why don't you talk about your student athletes you have in here with you today?
I referenced him last week. This is big old Garrett Gray. He's a fifth-year senior for us. Been just a
burrito
dominant
lover.
Yeah, burrito lover, Chipotle burrito lover. Really excited about the opening of Chipotle in town.
Oh yeah.
He, fifth-year senior, put the work in. He's been the most dominant wrestler going into the national tournament the last 2 years in a row. Leading Division II with pins. He's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to coach.
Well, we'll get into, we'll meet Garrett here in a little bit. So, first of all, Garrett, thanks for coming on the program. Thanks for being here. And we'll get into Garrett a little bit. But first, let's talk about your last event you were at, the Intercollegiate Open. Let's get started with that.
Man, we did really well. We had 7 kids place. The way they do these open tournaments, there's no true wrestle back. So if you lose before the semis, you can't come back to get third. The best you can do is fifth. So we had Hunter at 125, took fifth, lost, was winning, got spladled, and ended up getting stuck. But that kid that beat him ended up winning the tournament. So Hunter probably would have won it. I mean,
if you got to lose, you might as well lose to the champion.
Right, or beat him.
Or just not lose.
But yeah, man, we had 2 placers at 174. Hayden in the freshman sophomore division, and then Chase in the open. They were 5th and 4th. It goes through. Brian Laverne made the finals. Rico was 7th. Trying to think through. 65, we took 3rd. Mikey's little brother, Richie, and then Garrett won the tournament. So,
any of those young men any of those guys maybe step up a little bit for you this weekend? Anybody surprise you with their efforts this weekend?
Hunter Langlow, man, he really wrestled. He wrestles with a chip on his shoulder, which is pretty cool. You know, it's easier to try to rein a kid in than to kick him, getting him up, so to speak. It was cool. He hates to get scored on, and he wrestled a kid from Notre Dame that pretty highly recruited kid, and Hunter had to actually wrestle him twice. Beat him on points the first time, I think, by 3 or 4, and then stuck him the second match. So
how difficult is that if you have to wrestle somebody twice in one event?
It's kind of horrible.
Imagine.
People make adjustments. We always say the difference between a great and a good wrestler is a good wrestler makes adjustments between matches. A great one makes them during the match. Okay. That's the big thing. So you have a whole different game plan when they come in. We try to stick to doing what we do. Mm-hmm. If I'm wrestling Russ, I try not to change for you. I still want to do what Joey does.
Right, absolutely.
We try to stick to that mindset and adjust in a match. So if we need to.
Makes sense. All right, Garrett, how about your experience this the last event early on here in your senior campaign? Let's talk about how your season's going for you so far.
It's going good. Winning Eastern Michigan was definitely a big start. Then coming out and winning the Ohio Intercollegiate Open was good. It was fun. I mean, it kind of eye opener. Getting to see some kids you usually don't see. Division I kids. That's a big thing. Everybody asks, "Well, do you wrestle Division I kids?" Well, see them. I mean, especially during the opens, we see a lot of Division I kids, which is nice. Give you a different look. I'm not gonna lie though, I got kind of scared this weekend.
Tell us,
Olympic gold medalist Kyle Schneider showed up with Ohio State, and he was in the heavyweight bracket. He wrestled. He was a national champ last year for Ohio State,
right.
And he showed up. I'm like,
freak.
Oh,
he's got to
shoot! I might be in some trouble. This is gonna be a long day. He didn't weigh in though, but it was a good tournament. I had 2 techs and a pin, so I had an injury default in the finals. So it was a good weekend. I enjoyed it.
Garrett, about where you think he would be at this time of the season so far, Coach?
Yeah. He's the best thing that I'm seeing out of him right now is he's trying different stuff. He's trying to open up his offense a little bit, not only on his feet but on the mat too. Garrett's very athletic and he can do some things that other heavyweights can't. He's had some real success with this bar series that he runs, and he's got other stuff. He just never really has to use it. So it's been nice. Guys kind of know the bar's coming, so they're protecting themselves from it, which is making him open up and do some other things. And it's good because that's kind of what we ran into last year at Nationals. Guys, with him, they just kind of shut down, tried to frustrate him. Yeah. And so he's seeing it now. He's kind of funny, smiling, wrestling through it, and just pushing.
You mentioned the athleticism, and when you think about somebody that wrestles at the heavyweight, you basically think strength and power. And is that athleticism something that gives him advantage over his competitors, you think?
For sure. That was the big thing before him. We had Kevin Chrisman go up, and Kev was kind of like the hybrid model. So he was this 220-pound kid that wrestled heavyweight but moved like a lightweight. So he had the fortunate and unfortunate to deal with that every day.
Yeah.
So it was good, and it really helped open him up, from what he did in high school. So it's very important. And I think that's kind of like the evolution of heavyweight. You're not seeing just the power guys anymore. You're seeing dudes that can, scrap and scramble and do things.
Is that because all the athletes and all across the board, everybody's getting bigger, faster, stronger? I mean, you see it in every sport. Guys who played a different position 10 years ago or playing a different position now just because the size of everybody's getting different.
Yeah, it's definitely changing. Guys like me, I'm 35, I'm starting to feel like a dinosaur.
Tell me about it. You're a puppy.
Right, but it's, in this sport, it's kind of crazy, I don't feel like I've been out that long, and, when I'm wrestling with the guys, we got that freshman Zach I was talking about last week. Yeah. He dove backwards to create a scramble out of it, and I've never seen it. And I tried to do it. I felt like I was out for a week. I thought my hip popped.
Right.
It was bad. So it's crazy to see the sport evolve. It's crazy to see weight classes evolve, and I think that's been a huge thing for him. His athleticism has helped him a lot.
Well, Coach mentioned high school, Garrett. Let's talk about your path. Where are you from, man? What's hometown?
Oregon, Ohio. Technically, I live outside of Oregon and Curtis, but I went to Oregon Clay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of that town, Garrett?
Bono. I live in a small town in Bono.
Okay. You've got to be the biggest guy in town, I imagine.
No.
Wow.
No, I'm upshowed by my father.
Okay.
6'7", 350, so he's got me by a little bit now. But,
probably a fairly intimidating gentleman, I imagine.
Very.
I bet.
He's a teddy bear. I mean, he's
for you,
biggest teddy
probably
bear.
For you, but not for the average Joe walking down the street seeing a fellow like that.
No, he's a big guy. Definitely something. I mean, every time we take a picture, I try and get up on my toes or find a step or something. At least make it look even.
Right.
Other than that, I'm always shorter.
Well, how tall are you?
6'2", roughly.
Okay.
I mean, I put my wrestling shoes on, I'm like 6'1.5".
All right.
So I think I lose some height, but
it's
not too bad. No, the small town atmosphere. That's what I mean. I love Tiffin. I mean, it's small town. It's just like home.
As I say, it fits your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Sounds like, yeah.
And it's close to home. It's close enough where I can go home if I need something, but it's far enough away where no one comes down if they don't have to.
Yeah, they'll call first.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If they're showing up, absolutely. You can still run home and have the laundry done.
Yeah.
And fill up a couple grocery bags to bring back with you, but only one or two, not too many, as we've had the discussion.
One or two. I usually fill up the back of the truck.
I'm sure. Okay, let's talk about then your Oregon Clay. What was the path that brought you to Tiffin University?
A little bit of everything. Jake Kramer was I knew Jake from Oak Harbor. We've been friends for a while, and then I kind of got a hold of Simcoe and Dustin, and we started talking. I come down on an early visit, just seeing the room and stuff, and kind of watch the guys practice around, and I mean, it just felt like home. I mean, it was close. It was great, and I couldn't pass it up. Dustin was a big help. I mean, having somebody in the room like him is great. I mean, even Simcoe jumps in and jumps on top, and I can't get out. But I mean, it's a great room and atmosphere. I mean, I loved it from when I started, and I seen where the program was going. I knew big plans that he had made for us, and where we were going to go in this 5 years I've been here.
Talk about the recruiting process with Garrett, Coach.
It was actually probably one of my funnest ones.
Cool.
It was pretty easy. Talking to him, it feels like you've talked to him forever. You've known him forever. So Jake told me, he's like, hey man, Garrett hasn't signed anywhere. So we got in touch, and one of the best things, I love this story. So his senior year, he was wrestling a kid that was going for his third state title, and Garrett calls me after districts to let me know we were on the road at regionals. So he called to let me know how it was going, and he's like, hey man, it looks like the way the brackets are gonna fall, I'm gonna see him in the finals, I'm gonna beat him, I'm gonna get this state title. So I'm like, good luck, and I'll be down. So I was actually walking in with Jake Kramer, and we're walking into the building, and I get a phone call, and it's Garrett Gray. I'm like, what's he calling me for? He should be warming up.
Right.
And he said, hey coach, are you here yet? I said, yeah man, I'm just getting ready to walk in. So I told him where, and he met me at that entrance and came up and shook my hand, said, I'm about to go win the state title, and took off. And then wrestled a brilliant match, right? And I to this day feel like he kind of got hosed a little bit. He lost in overtime. should have won a state title. Should have been Oregon Clay's first state champ. But Oregon's loss is my gain. So it was like about a week later, Garrett committed to coming to Tiffin, and the rest is history. He's wrestled that kid, 3 times?
Yep.
And I think you're 2-1 in college, right? So he's wrestled that same kid that beat him for the state title. Lost to him once as a true freshman, and then would have been his redshirt sophomore year, stuck him at the Michigan State semis. It was beautiful. Tom Ryan lost his mind, and Garrett got his redemption, and it's been on a roll ever since.
That's pretty awesome. That's a great story. Okay, you're at Tiffin University now. What are you studying?
Criminal justice, so I'm a Homeland Security major.
Yeah, what's your plans after school?
I don't know yet. I got some feelers in with the State Highway Patrol. I'm an auxiliary officer with them now, so I do some rides out of Findlay and stuff, using that as my internship. So trying to figure out where things are going to lead me, if I'm going to go home, if I want to stay in Tiffin, and kind of working things out with my girlfriend too. Always got to plan ahead here, but trying to figure out where our next move is. So that's definitely where we're going to go next. Where we're going to go next, I don't know, but we're working towards it. So
let's talk a little bit about your time here at Tiffin University and being part of the wrestling program here with Coach Simcoe. We're talking to Garrett Gray, the the 5th-year senior Tiffin University wrestler, and you've had a very successful career here at TU. And when you look back on it, is there anything that sticks out in your mind as a highlight of that, or is it accumulation of everything? How does it work out in your brain?
I'd say the highlight is the family atmosphere. I love it here. I've said it before, but the wrestling team feels like a team I've never been with before. Some of the guys, we'll get together for no good reason, just hang out at the room. Yeah. Watch TV or whatever, and we're always together. It feels like we're never apart. Whether we're Simcoe's there, Dustin's there, whoever's there. Someone's always there and someone's always hanging out, and it just feels like you can call these guys for anything. And it's going to be different next year when I'm not here, not knowing what the team's doing and not having all these guys around me all the time. It's definitely going to be a change. Oh yeah, absolutely. My body says I'm not going to. I'm feeling old. I'm only 22, but I feel old. But no, I'm going to miss being here and having all these guys by my side. It's going to be a change.
You think wrestling is something you'll keep in, like maybe as is helping out coaching or something down the line, or if you end up having children, helping them into the wrestling game?
Wrestling's something you never really get out of. That's how I feel. I don't think I can ever get out of it. There's someone's gonna wrangle me and do it one way or another, and I'm gonna love it either way. I definitely plan on doing something.
I'm sure he'll be blowing you up every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure.
I have no problem coming back down. It's not a far drive for me, even if I move home. Right. So I don't think I ever see myself getting out of the sport, whether I want to or not. It's just something that sucks you in, and it's a lifestyle. Once you're in, you can't get out.
He mentioned, Coach, the just hanging out with the kids down at the room, and this, just the camaraderie of it all. And was that what it is when you're recruiting kids? It's not only what they can do on the mat, but whether them and their personality and their attitude fits in with the room that you have.
100%. We try to do an overnight visit with every kid because I tell everyone, when wrestling's over, not everybody's lucky and finds what I have found. I was a lot of hard work, but I truly believe I was right place, right time. Mm-hmm. One day you take the singlet off and you never put it back on, and you're going to go help a high school, or you're going to end up coming back to your college room. Mm-hmm. But that piece of paper is the most important thing you get from college. So I tell them all, not only are you going to have to go to school, so you got to find a school you like, but then you got to find a coach you like and a team you like, because you're going to spend 4 or 5 years, in the trenches. And if you've never wrestled, you don't understand wrestling. Just like, and it's like that with any sport.
Sure.
You don't understand the sport other than what you see. Mm-hmm. So much goes into what we do. We left this last weekend at 4 a.m. on a Sunday. We were in there. I was there till almost midnight on Saturday, making sure dudes were down to weight and encouraging and whatever else. And like he said, we have a legit open door. We don't close it on anybody, whether you're the starter or you're the backup or you're a manager. We are a family, and it's, I don't know, it's different.
That room has made quite a few changes, Garrett, in your time. Quite a few improvements down there since your time hasn't. Talk about the improvements to the room down there.
When I first came my senior year, they were still over, what's that mall?
Westgate
Mall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were in that facility still, and I thought that was pretty cool. Then he, as the summer continued, he kept sending me pictures of he told me about the new building and what it was going to be, and I'm like, man, this is going to be sweet. Mm-hmm. I come in here for the first time, and it was just beautiful. I thought it was the sweetest room I've ever been in. Since then, we've put up new shelvings, lockers, made some changes for the weight room side, put in some new equipment, laid out new mats. I mean, it's wall mats. It's a perfect atmosphere, really.
It's a magnet. Get those guys to come in there and hang out.
We're trying.
I mean, it's not that we're hanging out either. We come in, we get a workout in. We come in and hit the weights, or we just come in. I mean, like I said, to sit on the couch and watch TV for a little bit just before practice starts, kind of relax and blow off the rest of the day. I mean, you can just kind of start to focus on what we're doing. But the room's great, but the guys that are in it is what makes it perfect. I mean, just the guys that we have, even the freshmen we brought in. I've never liked so many freshmen. I mean,
have you enjoyed taking on the roles and upperclassmen with these freshmen and getting them, accommodated, getting their accommodations right and getting themselves comfortable with the guys who are already in the room?
Absolutely. These guys have come in, have fit in great. I mean, they wrapped right in with us. I mean, there was usually you get a period where you get your freshmen hanging out with just the freshmen and the upperclassmen are just by themselves. But it seemed like as soon as this group came in, we were all together. Like he was talking about Hunter and Zach and Stubby, Peaches, I mean, all of them. We all just kind of wrapped in tight.
I'm sure some of the viewers and listeners aren't sure who Stubby and Peaches are, just like me, but that's okay.
That's some nicknames. Just some nicknames.
Yeah, I mean, that comes to nicknames. I mean, I carried mine from high school, but a lot of guys get nicknames as soon as they come in.
What's the one you brought with you from high school?
Well, the big old one. Okay. Everybody calls me Big Ol'. It's stuck in high school, and I can't get rid of it, but I'm happy to have it now. It's not too bad for me.
He doesn't want to. It's his Facebook name.
That's right.
There you go.
Why change something that's working? I always say. But no, this group has been great. I mean, I like all the guys. I mean, they're across the board. They're all good guys, and I mean, they're all tough.
How do you decide who gets to practice mat time with them? Is it like if you miss practice or miss a class, your punishment is you got to get on the mat with Garrett? Is that how you figure out who's going to get on the mat time with him in practice?
No, to be honest, we develop a set of skills in order to not fall on each other the wrong way and stuff.
Sure.
So, how we wrestle in a tournament versus how we train is a little different.
Okay.
I'm roughly 160 nowadays, and like I can roll with him, and he can hit double legs on me and not fall on me and crush me. Now, if he was in a match, he'd pop a rib and but he'd be the first one to help me up too. You know what I mean? So no, it's actually training with him is pretty fun. Another fun story, like one of my favorite highlights of him is we took him to regional duels when he was behind Kevin. And Kev was a little dinged up, so we took Garrett anyway. We were planning on it. So he ended up wrestling 5 of the 6 matches we wrestled, and he didn't have a workout partner, and neither did I. He was odd man out. So we had a workout, and by the end of it, we were both soaked, and I think I had a fat lip and probably a little bit of a black eye. And the next day, he goes out and just absolutely destroyed the region. So everybody was talking about Kevin, and then they go, "Well, who's this kid?" And I was like, "I told you I had something in hiding," Yeah. I think he had 5 pins on the weekend, and took a 285-pound dude and skied him. It was beautiful.
Wow.
So it was kind of like his coming to moment,
Yeah. There's some guys that I'm sure you've probably wrestled against some guys here at Tiffin University, opposing teams that you probably ran into quite a few times over your times. There's some people that you've developed some mutual respect for, and I'm sure that they have a mutual respect for you.
A lot of the Finley guys, I mean, mutual respect. I think that's different with wrestling. There's 2 different people in every wrestler. There's 2 different people. You got the guy that you get on the mat, and you got the guy that when you come off the mat.
Sure.
I mean, when I'm off the mat, I try and be friendly unless something happened. But I try and be friendly, and I usually am. But on the mat, I can't stand you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I just want to pin you.
Of killer instinct, isn't it?
I just want to be done with you. But I try and have respect for everybody I wrestle. I figured if you don't have respect for them, they don't respect you, and I mean this could not go your way.
Well, you better respect them because those guys are pretty darn good that you're going up against too sometimes, right? If you go in there in the wrong frame of mind, one little slip up and boom, boom, one thing leads to another.
Yeah,
for sure.
I definitely think it's different for me. I mean, myself, when I look at a match, I don't look at it as me winning. I look at it what he could beat me with, and it's weird. I kind of psych myself out in the same moment. I'm like, man, he's good, he's big, he's this, he's that, and then when I go out there, I think I oversell him. When I go out there, I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna be a problem. We can do this. But it just, I think I kind of psych myself out, and it seems to work for me. But it's definitely, I gotta respect everybody I wrestle. I mean, a lot of the guys from Finley, we're a hated rival sometimes, but when we're off the mat, we're usually
sometimes those are the guys you respect the most, though.
Absolutely. We can be good friends off the mat, but when we're on the mat, we're sworn enemies. We don't even want to look at each other. But it's definitely it's changed a lot. I mean, it's changed me and how I treat other people, especially on the mat, than anything else.
All right, let's dive into this burrito problem. All right, this burrito problem. Now, we understand Garrett has quite a fondness for burritos, and there's a place that does a pretty good job with burritos. It just opened up here in town. And, Coach, what do we got to do to limit his burrito intake?
Well, if you got any ideas, I'm game.
I'm just trying to work my way through it with you,
yeah,
sir.
These guys have made, I can't tell you how many countless Finley runs to go to Chipotle.
Oh, I'm sure.
So when they found out this one was opening, they're already hitting me up about, we moved the stage for Lonnie during setting up something, and he said we can get some free food out of the deal, and the guys were like, Chipotle, when it opens.
Sure, right.
So they already started hitting me up about it,
right.
and I'm like, guys, we're still wrestling right now,
Right.
So, but actually, we eat there on the road quite a bit. It's a pretty decently healthy choice.
Right.
It's just you can only have like one a day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So if we can get them down to one, then we'll be in good shape.
Well, you mentioned you're making a healthy choice. I mean, I go on the road a lot with covering athletics, and it's hard.
It is.
It's difficult to make healthy choices when you're on the road, and be able to find something that is a somewhat healthy choice is probably better than a lot of things you could do.
It's tough. We do. Subway gets a lot of our money. Chipotle gets a lot of our money, or Qdoba, something like that. And we used to, when I was in college, we used to hit Fazoli's a lot, because you get the pastas and whatnot, and you can't hardly find one. Remember when we ate at one? Mm-hmm. We ate at one down south. I forget where we were wrestling, but so we ate, and we had about a 3-block walk back to the hotel, and all of a sudden you notice everybody's walking a little faster, everybody's running for the bathroom, man. It was kind of rough.
I know how that game's played.
Yeah. So we stayed away from Fazoli's since then. But.
Wow. All right, what we got coming up, Coach? According to the schedule here, at Finley open, Michigan State open?
Yeah, we were going to hit up Michigan State again, like I said last week. They kind of flip-flop weekends on us.
Yeah, that's right.
So that should have been this past weekend, but they went on Finley. I put it on the schedule. Wasn't sure what we were going to do, but we're going to take everybody to Finley. Stay close, stay local. Bring most of our kids are pretty local, with the exception of this class. We got Michigan, Indiana, and New York out of there. But so Finley's local. It's nice. Parents for the most part get to come watch,
sure.
And so we're just going to hit that one up. Wrestle, beat on some people, and call it a weekend.
And you got a few matches on the road in December, and we mentioned last week mainly this stuff happening in October, November, December, getting yourselves ready for January, February, March.
Yep. It's the build up for the push. We got we end with that Midwest Classic, mini nationals we call it, and then we open back up with national duels. So we end with a really tough tournament. They'll probably be trying to think of who's in the top of the rankings right now. I think out of the top 10 teams in the country, there'll be 5 of us there, and then national duels is the top 16 teams in the country. So after this weekend we get a nice little break. Tough weekend down at Ohio Northern. Red shirts will go to the Storm Open, and then we hammer home with mini nationals, and then back to national duels.
How do you keep the guys to keep themselves under control with Thanksgiving and then Christmas?
Keep them
two
here.
Traditionally big. That's what it is.
Keep them here.
Two traditionally pretty big meals.
We're actually running the American Pride tournament. It's a youth duels event that the weekend of Thanksgiving. It's on the Michigan-Ohio State game, so that always stinks because that's like a holiday in itself too.
Right.
But so they'll go home for Thanksgiving, then they'll come back. And then I can't remember the exact dates on Christmas, but they don't take the whole break off. I know some programs are able to go home, take the whole break, get like a month off, recover. We're just not in that boat. We wrestle on, I believe, the 5th of January is the first day of national duels. Yeah, so they'll be here for they'll be back pretty much the day after Christmas, and then we'll train through New Year's and all that stuff. So there's a lot that goes into the wrestling season, man. That like I said, is behind the scenes, and
there's a lot of variables involved that people don't realize.
For sure. And while a lot of students are at home chilling and having a good time, we're sweating and bleeding and hating each other. And
that's a sacrifice you make to be a student athlete at the collegiate level. And Gary, you're going to go down as, when he's done, probably the most decorated wrestler Tiffin University's ever had when he's all completed and finished
he'll
up.
be so Jake Kramer was our first 2-time All-American. Garrett's got a shot to be 2-timer this year. I think he's got a great shot to win the tournament. And that was kind of our motto when I was recruiting him, was who wants to be first, right? Because when I took over, we had no one over 20 wins. No one had made it to the national tournament. And we started building a team, and that first year we sent 2 true freshmen, right? So it's always been building blocks.
Right.
Then it was we had an All-American, but never 2 in the same year. Within him, Jake, and Mikey were, they were all 4th in the country one year. So that was the year we finished 9th at the tournament. It's all kinds of firsts. He'll be the first one to 100 wins. He's amassed a ton of accomplishments since being in school.
Great ambassador for not only your program, but also for the university as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, it's about time to wrap this up. You guys got anything else for us here before we let you get out of here and let you go get some burritos?
I'm burritoed out.
I
already ate there once this week, so
I haven't been there yet since they've opened. So
line's long.
I'm sure.
Keep checking in on us, man. We're going to continue to make noise, and like he said, this freshman class we brought in is sweet. Next week I want to talk a little bit about the kids that we just signed.
Cool.
I got before I mentioned
something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't want to mention names yet because I got to make sure all their paperwork's in first. But we did something pretty awesome. Kind of made history again with signing kids from the same school. Look, we'll get into that more next week.
Awesome.
But just keep an eye on us.
People want to find out more information on you, Coach. Where is the best way for them to find that info?
Either our website, gotiffindragons.com, check the wrestling tab there on the side. Find us on Facebook. We post quite often, Tiffin Wrestling on Facebook. Or, give me a call.
You guys are on Twitter too, aren't you?
Yeah, I can't find that password, man. I'm on Twitter, but I haven't found the Tiffin Wrestling one yet. I got to redo it.
I tag you when I put the stuff out here.
It's still out there. I just can't sign into it.
We'll get it figured out one of these days. Garrett, man, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to be able to talk to student athletes like yourself who come in here and are very successful and represent the university as you should. So appreciate you taking time, and your accomplishments on your athletic venue are just fantastic. Keep up the great work, man, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, post-graduation, too. You're not going to lie to this guy if he comes up to your car and a policeman's in uniform wants to know what's going on?
Nope.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Here's my license and registration.
Right. Well, guys, this has been a Joey Simcoe show. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Coach Simcoe. We'll do it again next week. And, Garrett, anytime you want to come by and chat with us, you're welcome in. Open door policy. So thank you guys so much. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been the Joey Simcoe show right here on your home of Tiffin University Athletics, WTUD.